I'm going to walk you through how to make a photograph black and white in Photoshop and then to erase through to your color and add new color on top. So first I'm going to just open a new canvas and go ahead and just make a landscape. I'm going to import my image, which I'm using Starry Night, using the original posted by the Museum of Modern Art, which is where Starry Night is being held. Okay, so I've got my image right here. I'm going to use the triple dots here to duplicate that layer. I always do that out of habit. It's pretty important to protect your images, especially in the desktop version of Photoshop. Okay, so here is my good looking view of Starry Night. I've duplicated the background. Now I'm going to add a clipped adjustment and I'm going to change it to black and white. Okay, when you go ahead and change this to black and white, on the desktop version you have more options. You can choose like basically which type of black and white filter you want. This does not allow you to do that. However, you can go through and adjust these sliders. Sometimes you could get yourself in trouble with this, so be cautious. It does affect kind of, well, the appearance, number one, but also the contrast and some things. So be cautious as you're adjusting it, and maybe don't play with it unless you see something that needs fixing. Okay, so there's my adjusted work, and if you wanted, when you go back to this, you can click on that layer and just turn it off and on and see, you know, how it looks comparatively. Okay, so the other thing you can do is slide this back and forth. You see that's your clipped adjustment of black and white. This is the mask, and that is the adjustment itself. Okay, so it's, I don't know if you noticed, but down in the corner, watch my color picker. I have bright green, but then when I switch over to here to the mask view, it switches only to black and white. And that's because when you're working on a mask, the only options you can have for color are black and white, because it doesn't function like a regular layer. It's just going to allow you to show things below it on the color layer. So let's actually try that, because that's the next thing. After we've made the black and white layer, we're going to pick up a paintbrush. A paintbrush is going to allow you to either reveal or conceal the colored images below. So when I paint on this layer, I can reveal the colored image below, the original color. And you can see that. Look over there on my thumbnail. Look over here on my thumbnail. On my mask is now a black cypress tree. It's not really, I painted black where I wanted the original painting to show through. I'm just using my finger, so it looks really bad. You would do a much better job. If I come up here and use, let's say, if I choose the selection tool and I'm gonna maybe feather it a little bit, okay, that looks neat. And what if I made a selection in the sky, okay? Then I could use also the gradient tool and apply a gradient in there, and look at how nicely that fades out. Ooh, that's pretty. And look at my mask then. Okay, so that's pretty interesting way to make the image black and white, and then use your mask with a combination of paintbrushes and gradient tools to reveal the color underneath. Now we can also use a new layer, which I just added, and look at how color came back to be an option. Oh, well, I guess I should use it then. So if I come back and pick up my paintbrush, and let's say I want these swirls to be green. Oh, what a wonderful choice, right? I am brilliant. No, that's horrible. But I can change the layer mode for this layer. And I don't want it to be normal. I want to use a blending mode. Lots of these are going to blend it, but I would recommend you start with color. Okay, so still that looks pretty bad. That's an intense color. Okay, if you choose colors that are less intense, it's going to look better. You can also lower the opacity. So let's put in a new layer again, because I'm going to switch colors. Set it to color. Okay, and let me just get these out of the way. Let's try something a little less ridiculous. And maybe this time, like, I could put in some purple. This is still ridiculous. That's okay. Put in some purple here. And then I think I still will need to lower the opacity some. Okay, so you see what I'm getting at here? And look at my layers palette. We can add new color with a blended layer. We can add black, make parts of the image black and white, and we can reveal some of the original color all within one document, which is pretty snazzy.